Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an Airbus A330 pilot, and welcome to our takeoff tutorial in the iniBuilds Airbus A330 in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. We are sitting on the runway in Frankfurt and we are all set to go. When the takeoff clearance is received, the first thing for us to do is to turn on the landing light and the nose light into the takeoff position. Verify that our brake temperature is within the acceptable limits for takeoff, which is a maximum of 300 degrees if the brake fans have been off the entire time, or a maximum of 150 degrees if the brake fans are on. The background for that is that when the brake fans are on, the indicated temperature can roundabout be about half as much as the actual temperature, due to the way the brake fans work. More on that in a dedicated brake fan video. So, let's go ahead and talk about our takeoff procedure. For an aircraft equipped with the Rolls-Royce engines, you want to advance the thrust levers to 1.1 EPR. That's right up here. Stabilize the engines at 1.1 EPR and then put the engines into takeoff thrust. With a headwind and a crosswind of 20 knots or less, you are going to apply half forward side stick, and if you have a tailwind or the crosswind is greater than 20 knots, you will go full forward on the side stick like this until you reach 80 knots. By the time you reach 80 knots, the takeoff thrust must be set, and you will gradually reduce your side stick to reach neutral at 100 knots. At 100, we cross-check the speed indications, left, center, and right. And reaching V1, we are going to get an automatic call-out, something the A330 has that the smaller Airbuses don't have. So you will get the automatic V1 call-out. At VR, you are going to rotate smoothly at a rate of 3 degrees per second towards an initial pitch attitude of 15 degrees. Do note that at the time I'm recording this, the iniBuilds Airbus needs a little bit less pitch, more in the region of around 12 degrees, which is what you would use with an engine failure in the real world. Once you're in the air, follow the SRS commands from your flight director. When a positive climb is established, which you can read on the altimeter, then we are going to retract the landing gear, and the autopilot may be engaged above 100 feet AGL. Reaching thrust reduction altitude, we reduce our thrust levers into the climb notch, and we select pack number 1 on. At least 10 seconds after selecting pack 1 on, we are going to select pack 2 on, and retract the flaps on schedule. Flap schedule is passing the F speed, we can retract the flaps into the 1 position. Passing the S speed, we can retract the flaps into the 0 position. Do note, however, that at weight close to the maximum takeoff weight, your clean speed is going to be around 245 knots, meaning that at that speed, you gotta be very careful with any speed constraints you might have on your departure. Remember, today we have a 220 knot restriction at Delta Foxtrot 101. With the current weight, the clean speed is 211 knots, so it's not a problem, but at a higher weight, we might have to keep the flaps extended for a little while in order to be able to meet the speed restrictions. So, sounds like a lot, but believe me, when we actually try it, it's a lot easier. So, are you ready to go? Lights are on, packs are off, the checklist is completed, then we can release the park and brake. Start the timer, and then stabilize the engines at 1.1 EPR or 50% N1 if you use the GE engines. So here we go. Takeoff. Manflex 60 SRS auto thrust blue. Thrust set. In the real world, this takes quite a bit longer on the Rolls-Royce engines, so don't be surprised there if they ever do happen to update that. So we're reaching 80 knots, takeoff thrust is set, and we can gradually return the side stick into the neutral position. 100 knots, cross-check the speed. Rotate. Positive climb. Gear up. Nav. Checked. And we're above 100 feet, so the autopilot can be used. As mentioned, in the real world the pitch would be around 15 degrees. The simulated one needs a little bit less for the time being. Reaching the acceleration altitude. Reducing thrust. And we've got thrust derated climb 2, climb auto thrust. Flaps 1, speed checked. Flaps 1. And here's the nice feature of the A330. We're in config 1+F right now, but when accelerating past 200 knots, you will see that the flaps are automatically going to retract and the speed limit is going to increase like this. This was of course just for demonstrational purposes. We're above the S speed, so flap 0. Speed checked. Flap 0. Always verify it on the eCam. When flap 0 is selected, we disarm the spoilers, turn the nose light off and the runway turn-off light off. So pack 1 is coming on, and you could have turned the packs on already when you reduced your thrust to a climb thrust. Alright, and pack 2 on. Very well, and this concludes the after takeoff procedure. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope that you learned something today and that you enjoyed this video. Leave your feedback in the comments underneath the video. Thank you very much for watching. I'm looking forward to see you all again on the next one. In the meantime, be sure to like, comment and subscribe. And if you really love what I'm doing on this channel, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you for watching and see you all again on the next one.